Kruger, my man. Thank you. Alright, welcome all. Welcome to a new season of Invader League. I am Darkling. I'm the, I guess, head honcho of the streaming group. With me is Mr. Tay, who heads up Turn 6 Crits. Together we are basically the production team of a lot of the stuff that you saw at the Invader League kickoff show. Hey, Ty. I don't know if you heard anything I just said, because I have it on push-to-talk instead of voice activation. But I just basically said, hey everybody, welcome, etc, etc. You and I are both the production team. Feel free to jump in at any point in time. But in the meantime, thank you everybody for coming out. I appreciate it. Right now we are waiting for everyone to settle and get set up. I'm going to change myself to push, or take myself off push to talk here. So that way, now Ty can't hear me without it being pushed to talk. I forgot that we have this channel set up that way. Alright, no problem, so we'll just have to do it this way, the hard way. So those are the lists that we see. We see a nice generic Rex Arcstar versus a Tim Hot Pile of Garbage ATST, so a chicken with some lizards. A barnyard, I suppose, is I guess what we can call his list. He's playing the barnyard. So while we wait for them to finish deploying, let's go ahead and take a look. Ah, he's on the phone. So what we have here is their current deployment. I got a bit of time. I'm going to do some fancy stuff here. See if this actually works as intended. So our first point, well, first off, we should probably get to what the mission is. It is sabotage the Vaporators with advanced positions and supply drop. So as you would imagine, supply drops are right next to the Vaporators, and they're deploying now. It takes a little bit to deploy with the advanced positions, so here's what we're going to do. While we wait, we can see that we have a nice, lovely Vaporator there. We have another one over here. And then down below here, we have another one over here. And the other one, oh Jesus. I'm going to do this the ghetto way. I don't have the fancy tools that we see everyone else have. There's the other one. Those are our Vaporators. And we see, of course, the extra not objective, but supply caches there and there. So that is what we have for deployment. Alright, now you're seeing most of the forces work out. Tim is throwing before he even started, let's be honest. Alright, so it looks like the majority of the barnyard is going to be down in this region. The arcs and everything else are kind of split. Small force of arcs up here, small force of arcs up here, divided equally. Going to create kind of an overlapping field of fire here. Basically, you got these guys over here, the snow troopers, and then the other snow troopers here. They're acting almost as just defensive holding forces, so they're not really going to play. But that's where we are with that. So let's go ahead and go to the game itself. Take a look at some of the stuff we got going on. So I suspect you're going to see a little bit of heavy push from the dewbacks to try and get in melee as quick as possible. Welcome back, Ty. You back with me? I'm just going to assume that you're back with me and you'll speak up when you actually are back. But needless to say, this is where we are. Currently awaiting the last dewback, Veers, and the ATST to be deployed. And we've got still Rex and a couple of the Phase 2s and the Phase 1 to be deployed. You don't hear me in Discord. Man, we did an audio check earlier. You'd think this would work. What about now? Can you hear me, Ty?
I can hear you.
Hey, we fixed it. So while you were on the phone, I basically did the introductions for us. I said, hey, kind of walked everyone through the deployment zones, walked everyone through the Vaporator locations, as well as the supply cache locations. Kind of briefly went over kind of where they're deploying in groups. Introduced both of us, saying that I'm the streaming coordinator production, the EP, we'll go with the EP, executive producer. You're my assistant producer. Together we formed Voltron and made the fanciness that was that kickoff show.
You are the man behind the camera, or behind the scenes, because you were supposed to be on camera, but you couldn't be there.
I had to main tank AQ-40.
Yes.
Which is a priority for me.
Arguably more important.
Yeah. You don't get many Druid Bear tanks. I am actually a fantastic Druid Bear tank. And that's my alt.
Speaking of bears, we got kind of Druid-esque people on here. We got Dewbacks.
I'm calling his list the Barnyard, because we got Dewbacks and a chicken. I couldn't come up with anything quicker off the cuff, so that's what we got. Maybe even barbecue. I guess you can do backyard barbecue list. Not saying I ever ate lizard before, but I know it's a thing.
Well, Dewbacks are pretty good at getting barbecued.
Oh, indeed. And they're about to be barbecued by all the DC-15, or not DC-15s, Z6 fire that's coming their way. Looks like we're... Go on.
I tried to watch that Vader 3-Do game, but it was hard to see what was going on. But apparently the Dewbacks did pretty well in that game.
It does help when you have Vader propelling them along and they don't have to deal with the potential of running off the board.
I made Krennic with Compel, that kind of stuff. So that seems like a really good combo.
Yeah, there's some feisty tricks that you can do.
We've all seen this kind of clone list before, but now with a few new tricks with fives. I'm glad, I was saying earlier, I'm glad these lists are only 10 activations with all these clones.
It's shocking you can get 10 activations in this clone list.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Clone Commander. Well, the Clone Commander is essentially the R2 activation. Just a little more expensive, but much more effective.
55 points of win.
Oh, yeah. So, assuming they would do like an R2, 3PO, 3PPO combo, 3 CPO combo, it's pretty much the same amount of points. And you can get orders on all 4 of these Phase 2s on the Take Back Clanker's turn.
We're going to see some nasty command cards coming out of the generic Clone Commander too. You're going to see some pretty heavy damage if he's taking air... What is it? I forget what it's called. Air Assault or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie, a little bit behind the curtain, I have not touched Legion. I haven't touched my models since LVO last year. I haven't played TTS since last Invader League. Or maybe sometime in Yavin Base I covered a game or two here and there. It's been a while. I've been keeping up with the information, but man, it's been a long time since I played.
And you're taking a break from this season, aren't you? Are you playing?
I didn't play last season, and I'm not playing this season. I've gotten to the point where I really, really, really love the paint jobs on my models, and I want to play with my models. I don't want to play with virtualized versions. It's a weird concept, and people might call me crazy, but
I think there's a lot of TTS burnout between Season 5 and now. Of course, there's a ton of people back into it, but I know I took a break. I'm not playing this season just because of time constraints and things like that. So I'm trying to stream some of them. I haven't streamed a game yet, but I kind of pick up where I can. And but I've been enjoying this season so far. I've caught a few games.
Yeah, I hear you. Funny thing is, COVID has actually caused me to become more busy, not only at work, but also with like the after work activities. So I'm main tanking our off nights with my druid. I'm main healing with my priest on Nax, and that eats up 3-4 nights a week, depending, for WoW Classic, if anyone doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. And then I'm involved in 3 different D&D games as well. So basically every night of the week I'm completely booked. So I try and cast when I can, but it would not be fair for me to participate in the season and be like, I can never play.
That's quite the schedule going on there.
Yeah, well, let's fill up my night with COVID activities. So, all right. So with that said, it looks like everyone's mostly deployed, and they're finally going to get started. While we wait for them to get kind of going here with turn 1, while I did say that they're doing Vapes, Advanced Positions, and Supply Drop, originally they had vetoed Danger Close, Intercept, Hostage Exchange, and War Weary to get to here. As to who vetoed which one, I don't know, but that's what got canceled out.
I imagine Tim would take out Hostage Exchange against the clones.
By the looks of it, it's based on just my math. The first one canceled was Danger Close, so that would come from Basscor. So then War Weary must have been canceled by Tim to try and get around the suppression that's going to hit his dewbacks. Probably then Basscor nixed Intercept to get to Hostage, and then Tim forced the nix on Hostage to get to Vapes. And that's kind of where we're at now. Go ahead and close that window. So it is good to be back in the caster chair with you, man.
Yeah, you too. It was good. We connected last season and did a little bit. I think the main time we worked together was on the finals production.
Yep.
We talked before, but yeah, that was fun.
So look for us to combine forces and again form Voltron for the bracket reveal show. I bet you and I have some good ideas. Hopefully this time I'll be able to actually broadcast it instead of like pawning it off like, I just can't do this.
My classes are starting. I'm in my master's program right now, so my classes are starting. So we'll see how busy I am in a week.
Getting your master's in ed.
Yeah, I'm going to have to respectfully take away. Well, I had a nice couple days where I could just work on this last project, but that's why I put so much time into it. But next time around for bracket reveals, I got some ideas. I got some. It's less. It's even though it's less people getting into the brackets, it's about the same number of slides essentially. Because 2 people per bracket, we can do 2 brackets at a time. It's going to be about the same size in terms of the reveal show.
Yeah, it's doable. There's a lot that we can carry from one to the other. We got some plans going, and we're obviously going to work together early to make sure it's set up and going. Unfortunately, LJ wasn't able to join on the reveal show because he is currently deployed, and he won't be able to join on the bracket show because he has drill. So go figure. All right, so finally, cards flip, standing orders for everybody.
That tension is broken by double standing orders.
That is not exactly what I would have expected here. So rolling off to see who gets it is going to end up going to Basscor. He's going to take initiative here. I guess that does make it easy when both people are standing orders.
He went full scout and just got a lot of his phase 2s closer, so he's not really, doesn't seem too scared about the dewbacks. Seems just out of a range of a double move charge this turn, so almost taunting the dewbacks to try and run in.
Yeah, I think that was a ploy to just kind of buy time, let the dewbacks do their thing, catch up, and then go full ham with a lot of joining fire next turn. That said, just because he gets one activation out of standing orders doesn't mean that he's only getting one activation here. He's definitely going to get 5s, which can bring the order token. It looks like he's going to do something here where it goes over to the arcs.
Yeah, 5s gets, so the clone commander auto populates an order to 5s, and 5s coordinates an order to another one, so even on standing orders, he has 3 face-ups.
Which is crazy powerful for that 55-point commander there. Not to mention all the surge tokens that come from this.
Yeah. So this first round is mostly going to be scoring objectives, getting those out of the way, it looks like, because they're positioned units right next to both Vaporators, and then getting those supply crates kicking as well.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an upkeep turn.
You can see some range 4 fire. Empire does have the range on this first turn, although there are 3 arc snipers on the clone side. We do see some shore troopers and the ATST that has some range advantage for this first turn.
Now, initially, I thought that this ATST had a great position behind this hill where he can not only get heavy cover, but then fire down into stuff. But sadly, the location that he's at and the way that this board works out with all this line of sight blocking terrain, he can currently only really see the arcs and the yellow phase 1s.
The positioning is really good. Well, I would say maybe some of the silhouettes behind that fuel tanker thing, the hyper fuel tank, might stick out. But yeah, there's all the units that all the phase 2s are blocked. I think that's great. They might just stick it out there for a little bit and do some a couple standbys to.
All right, so popping a supply cache, the ARC Troopers ended up getting a back to capsule, which is massive upgrade, ditching the grappling hooks because that's kind of irrelevant for the game plan. But man, the free wound on an ARC Trooper, woof.
Oh man, that is gold right there. It looks like the hill is half the height or less. I'm seeing in chat people talking about whether or not he could climb on that hill. I don't know if he wants to expose himself like that to the entire clone army, but that ATST could probably get up on that hill.
That is a good question. So I did. Here we go. Cliff is considered height 1 for purposes of blank. I'm assuming that's vehicles. So based on that, the ATST, it'd be up to the players, to be honest with you. They might call it one way or the other. No matter whatever we say it would be, that's kind of between them.
I'm assuming that tooltip says height 1 purposes of speeders, but
speeders, hover, something like that, yeah. But all things considered, it kind of comes down to the players, how they want to treat it.
Yeah.
That said, I'm not sure I'd necessarily want to go up there, but it might not be terrible. It'd mean a lot more things can see you, but you do get your advantage of line of sight as well as heavy cover from being on a higher elevation. And it looks like Tim is actually going to do that. Looks like they must have agreed that that's what they think they should be able to do.
If you could snipe off this phase 1 naked squad, then that leaves only 1 unit next to one of the Vaporators. He could get some pressure on the victory points early.
Well, he's choice for targets right now. He could do arcs as well and just eliminate a high threat target right away.
Those arcs will probably get. Well, he's in the area train of the hill, so those arcs should be open.
Yeah, they're in the open and they're in range 3. Those phase 1s are in range 4. So I think you go for the arcs, especially considering that he has the Twin 88, and you just remove them from the table because that brings you in parity. I was going to split fire here, it looks like.
You need like 10 hits to get 2 wounds on arcs, is that what it is?
You'd be able to do it. Alright, looks like he's going for the green arcs back there.
I don't know if I like split firing, just try and dedicate and kill that activation, but...
So that is a good rollout. That's 5 hits, it's going to go down to 3 because of the heavy cover.
Oh! All caps in chat. Wow, that is a gift right there.
That is rare. That is absolutely rare. The ATST out of nowhere acing what I honestly thought was a completely safe unit. Yeah, Fs for sure.
That's what happens with those red saves. You just get an unlucky roll, and it just ruins your day.
And
you
here's
bank on saving 2 of those.
And here's 2 more coming in on the arcs in the open. And he blanks one, keeps one. He does have the token to res, but that has he's already activated that unit, so they're not going to be resing this turn. So effectively, it's wasted.
Super important that he got that whole activation off for the res purposes of resing. You're right.
That's brilliant. I'm not going to lie. That was absolutely brilliant. I would not have expected that to work out the way it did. That was an absolute gift by the RNGesus to Tim. They're gifting him those 2 failed saves.
He does have the range 3 crit rifle, so he could just do a little peekaboo with the dews and pop out, try and pick off those arcs with at least that forward dew.
Yeah, he can move up, shoot, retreat, all in the same action.
Off this first turn, he can just play safe.
That really puts him in a great position. Yeah, you're right. If he takes out those 2 activations and then he just kind of hunkers down, that puts the clones in a really weird position where they're not used to having to advance nearly as much.
Yeah, and what do you want to advance into? An ATST and 2 dews? That's a hard sell.
So it looks like the clones are going to move up. They're going to go ahead and repair or bash, one of the 2, and then we're going to see what they draw here, commenting that they're looking for a back to tank, but I don't think it's going to help because they've technically already activated. They end up getting hooks and scopes. Neither are going to be useful for that group. Of all things, scopes is probably the only good one, but yeah, that was not the best of options for that group to get.
I think if they pulled back to, they could technically still use it as a free action this turn, right?
I don't know, because you start to get into an order of operations thing.
I think you pick it up and you still have
a free action afterwards.
You still have free actions available because you can do free actions whenever. Yeah.
Or was using the supply crate considered a free action? I don't remember anymore.
It is a free action for the supply crate. Precision scopes on a naked phase 1. So that's good on Tim's side as well.
Yeah, so it looks like people are agreeing that you still have the free action available after you would have drawn it. Because if anything, he could have moved, drawn, repair, and still had the free action after the repair anyway, if you really wanted to get nitty-gritty about it. But either which way, it worked out. And it looks like Tim's going to do the same thing over here with the Snow Troopers. Going to move forward. Red repairs, blue bashes, so he's going to repair. Pull from the supply crate.
How do you like the naked snows over the naked stormtroopers?
Depends on a lot of things. I personally don't like naked snowtroopers. If they're just going to be objective getters, which is what they are now, I think that your points are better spent on the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
But and I'm a huge fan of, if you're taking snowtroopers, you take the old school flame frag.
The steady is pretty nice. It does make them at least more durable as far as hiding in the little peekaboo.
So get this. The snows just pulled the back to that yellow was looking for.
That was close, too.
So now those snows actually do have a purpose. They're now escorting that dewback.
That's true.
They go from objective getters to, cattle herders.
That dewback has a clean shot past those buildings. You can get pretty close without getting shot at too much.
All right, it looks like he draws what I believe is to be Rex here. And it looks like he's just going to do a move to the objective token here, get in behind some cover and not get lit up. Maybe pop the supply crate and see what he gets out of it. What is he going to draw? Ooh, rangefinder and scanner. Those are both good options here.
Marksman on him is great.
Marksman on Rex is almost a no-brainer.
Although the dodge and the cover is not bad.
Oh, yeah, I mean you're spoiled for choice at this point. I don't know.
I like having, if you're taking a list like clones, I like the be more offensive and just kill more than you get killed approach, because they do have the great save.
So going with the field scanners for more cover and dodge. Okay, I can see that simply because of token sharing, ability to do, some stuff in regards to keeping yourself alive. The targeting would have just bought you a singular turn of a really nice supporting fire.
Yeah. And you can use that dodge card now, and it's refreshable.
Yeah, it
is not refreshable. It's a one-off.
It definitely has a lot more usability. Oh, so moving up here with the other Dewback. He's going with the other Dewback first. Probably doesn't want to expose his other Dewback just yet, but I'm still would be tempted to pop it up, get a shot, and go back with it early on.
And once you know that that arc is potentially dead, it frees up some actions. You don't have to be as conservative with your other actions with your shore troopers.
Yeah, so double spurring here. Little aggressive, but still,
It'd be hard to say that this Dewback could see anything. If I'm going from the...
I don't think he'd be able to. I think it's more trying to check ranges for next turn. As I jitter all over the place.
Maybe just tempting him to shoot at him.
Well, he does have endurance on him. But yeah, he has exposed himself to green here.
I got a chance to cast some Tim games last season when he was running 1 Dew and 2 speeders.
I remember those lists.
He definitely loves the aggressive lists, Ben. You're right.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. He might have put himself in a little bit of trouble here, but... Yeah, so Zodiac pointing out that it could be to potentially bait and expose the clones to some return fire from the storms and the shores. Alright, so drawing an arc. Looks like it's going to have to be, I guess, blue here. It's the only option, because the other one got knocked off the table. I forgot about that. So it looks like blue's going to go and seek some cover.
This is great, too, because Empire hasn't moved out too much. So there's not a whole lot to shoot at.
He does currently have a shot at the Dewback from his position here. So that is very advantageous for those blue ARC troopers. Dewback in heavy cover with 2 suppression. There's a good chance it's going to hamper the Dewback for next turn. Damage-wise, sure, it's a wound.
The head of the Dewback is sticking out a little bit, yeah. So
I would guarantee he sees it because he purposely moved him just slightly forward as opposed to actually taking any sort of other movement. So he's moving him up, getting the free action here. Oh man, getting an arc welder, which is irrelevant, and then a target find or rangefinder, which might come into play here. Rangefinder from when you really want to guarantee that those arcs are going to hit. Probably a supported shot here would actually be really good from the arcs. With the clones I think that are out of range. Yeah, so it looks like it's just going to be these arcs. Landing a... yeah, that becomes a crit. That surge converts.
Lethal for the aim.
Yep, burn the aim for the lethal. And then it already eats the armor from the Dewback, so just straight to a wound.
crazy that you have a 25% chance of just auto wound.
And you pay so little for it. Empire snipers go sad. Alright, so back to Tim. Looks like he's getting his Veers out and ready to do some Veers things. Give out some aims to some people.
Good placement on the double aims there.
Both should have targets, not necessarily right this moment, but definitely will have targets if they take a move, and this aim gives them that ability to take that move to get in both range and in line of sight of targets they want.
Does Spotter need line of sight?
It does not. Remember, this game is a 2D game on a 3D surface.
I know some of those need line of sight, like Guardian needs line of sight.
Yeah.
I think the Force powers don't, but I think Spotter and Take Cover are in the same boat that you do need line of sight. I am not a judge.
I never remember playing it where it needed line of sight, but I can't say one way or another. Not my position to make that call.
I pull up the PDF really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Chat's going out on a limb and saying that they think it does not.
Figure it out.
I might have been playing it wrong this whole time. That is always an option. Marching out Veers into the open here like a crazy man. But also Veers is relatively behind some cover, so he might be okay. Alright, and then following that up is going to be back to Basscor, who's going to need to respond to some of these encroaching threats here.
Nothing about line of sight.
Yeah, I didn't think it required it, but yeah, Jess pointing out that it only requires range 1, nothing on line of sight.
Yeah, but Take Cover. Yeah. Guardian does need line of sight. That's the one.
Yeah, that's probably the one you're thinking of, but it's only line of sight to the defending target. It's not line of sight to the shooter, which makes it infinitely awesome for Obi-Wan. Alright, so drawing some phase 2s here. He has sufficient choice. Taking off the grid finally. Didn't even realize it. Pretty up the game a bit here. Less clutter now. So is it me, or does the... It looks like the back Vaporator only has 2 wounds. He never bothered to bash those yet.
Yeah, I think he's going to be... It seems like he's going to be playing defensive or expects to not push up too much past this halfway point. And so he wants to get as much in on the dewbacks as possible this first turn before retreating a little bit to get those victory points. You can always go back. Rex has jump. You can always jump back over that tank a little easier if he needs to.
Alright, so moving forward, burning the offensive push here to get an aim. Looks like he might be trying to take shots at the dewback that has yet to move. Yeah, you.
How about now?
Whoa. That'll do. We need to get you a new mic, friend.
I know. I was leaning back. I was being lazy. Gotta sit next to my mic.
Get a new mic, write it off as a business expense.
I did actually. Lucky enough.
All right, so shooting some Z6 action at the Dewback. Looks like everybody can get a shot.
Yeah, has a little bit of the base on the far right unit. This is a Z6 shot.
Yep, Z6. Will he get any sort of cover? I doubt it, because you can almost fully see the base. Yeah, it's going to be open shot at the Dewback. Getting 1 crit in, so that takes care of the armor. 3 hits in and 2 surges. He likely will convert those with how many he has available. Rerolling with that aim, might as well. Oh my god, into another 2 crits.
Nice.
That is a thing of beauty.
That's like mortar territory right there.
Woof. So one of those non-crits are still going to get eaten, which is not a big deal, but that's still a lot of damage coming into that poor Dewback.
Yeah, he's rolling 3 dice. He has scopes. I don't know why on my computer it says personal combat shield. I'm assuming that's O push.
It's O push flipped over. It's just double backed like that.
I got kind of excited. Like, when was this in the rules? Oh,
rolls into another hit.
That Dewback. This is just one Z6 unit. This is the power of a Z6 with all the rerolls.
And it lands into a perfect roll. Yikes amount of saves here. This is going to be quite the retribution for those arcs taking some damage. And the Dewback eats a substantial amount of damage here.
Is that a dead Dew?
That is indeed a dead Dew, unless there's some hidden surge tokens that I don't see anywhere.
Ugh.
Let it be known, Z6 Retribution is a hell of a drug.
That was just one of them.
That was just one of them, and that was absolutely painful. That was a lot of burn tokens to get there.
Unless these are burnt tokens. Yeah, those are all burnt tokens. I was like, he still has 2 aims. That was still an aim on Rex, but definitely used a lot of tokens to make that happen, but it is worth it.
That was a good trade. I would gladly trade a singular arc team for a full Dewback.
Tim's Dewback is dancing off in the corner and he's laughing in chat. I think he's happy about that.
I don't even know if there's F's in chat for that Dewback. That's kind of just what you expect.
This might be a preview of the trades we're going to see today.
So green is in range, but they're not really in good line of sight here. Going for blue at range 4 here. So you're just going to see double aim with the RTC. Manages to land. Well, there's a crit, a hit, and a surge. So yeah, rainbow.
2 crits. All right. 2 aims to get 1 mini off.
Not great, but hey, it's what that unit was able to do. It starts to whittle things down, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that loss that got taken off, if he activated that first, that's the more that's the one that's in bigger trouble, I think, instead of activating the other Dew and just moving up. Probably could have done a little bit more to protect that Dew.
Yeah, I do think that Dewback should have moved, shot the arc to kill it, and then run away.
Yeah, like a tiny step forward and a larger step back.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake on Tim's part. Should have activated that other dewback, because he definitely was at threat of other incoming fire. But again, you can't really play the expecting to see an arc, or not an arc, a Z6 squad just ace a dewback, though.
I know.
Aw,
Yeah, the T6
TTS.
power definitely shined on that one. But he knows that these C6s are going to be packing a huge punch, so he's got to protect his units. Kind of hang back at range 4. Those range 4 tap shots are going to be pretty decent, especially with Veers feeding the aims. At least until they go back to range 3 engagements.
Gonna need 2 moves here to get up to the Vaporator.
Yeah, that is the problem with the snows, is you can't tap objectives turn 1. Even on Scout 1, the deployments.
But then again, they're effectively in a position where that was the only thing they were going to be doing this game anyway, so anything they draw from this token is kind of a bonus. Alright, so what is he going to get out of this?
The ATST can see a lot of the force from up there. I think the ones that moved up are a little bit more protected. I can see...
So rangefinder and hollow projector here. Going with the rangefinder. Not exactly useful, but still. So what were you saying about the ATST?
Oh, we were just talking about line of sight from the ATST in chat, it looks like. I don't know about the target rangefinder. I think maybe he's trying to pick a card, so...
Yeah, it denies.
Take a good one.
Yeah, the other card was going to do him no good, so it just denies base a potential good card. That said, this ATST, yeah, as you stated, it has great line of sight to pretty much everyone who isn't immediately behind these giant supply crates. We see another trooper get activated here. Looks like red is going to go ahead and do a thing. They're going to come back and likely bash this Vaporator.
Yep. It's smart. Get those out of the way. He has an advantage now, so he can start thinking a little bit more defensively. Clones are all balled up, and Empire is this nice little wishbone going, this little U shape going. So we'll see how that works. I like that the ATST is putting a lot of pressure. He's got to save as many minis as he can right now. Tim does.
Alright, so up to 4 wounds now. So we did bash it earlier. We bashed it with the generic commander. So now we're up to 4 wounds on both, which is exactly what base wants, because now he is at parity in terms of losses and ahead on points. And he draws a or a field scanner for those phase 2s, which is going to be pretty nice. Alright, Tim likely needing to respond again here. Going to get some action going with his shore troopers. They're going to march up, likely take a range 4 shot if they even have it, which I doubt. But they might double move to get into the condition token, and then start drawing from that, hoping for some good stuff out of it. Yeah, just out of range 4, so he's definitely going to double move and grab this token. He can put himself in a nice spot to just get some troopers in the open here.
I'm a little scared of getting that close to the Z6 Horde.
Now, he's going to be at range 4, so it'll force them to move, but they have offensive push. He'll gain heavy cover. Is it a good trade-off? I don't believe so, but as long as Tim presents other threats, that'll be kind of the key thing.
True. I think the big changer is going to be if he gets that back in there and starts disrupting that gun line. And yes, take that clankers next round. I could definitely see him pulling take that clankers next round. Getting all these range 4 shots and thinning out Tim's forces would be a huge turn 2 action.
Yeah, that seems like it's a good move. That or... Yeah, everything is kind of at range 4. Nothing's piled up together to take advantage of like anything else. You definitely want to see take that clankers here. Maybe do a joined shot on the dewback, try and eliminate him. Maybe try and pop out these stormtroopers or the shore troopers.
Yeah.
There's quite a few options if you start moving into range 4 with a Z6.
There's only 2 shore troopers, and those are going to be some of the larger firepower units. So if you just take that clankers to take out at least 1 shore squad, that's still an advantage.
Alright, looks like he drew the dead arc. So to another trooper squad here, the last token, I believe. That he has in the stack, but he still has 1 active token on the board. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Titan. Much appreciated. And of course, thank you for the follows earlier this evening, Ben and Will, and everyone else. Much appreciated. So it looks like Purple's going to go ahead and move up. They are not burning their offensive push yet, at least. They are at range 3, though, of the stormtroopers here, so they could really lay into them. They'll be in a little bit of cover, but still, as seen earlier, cover is meaningless when you have enough tokens.
Yeah, I agree. And I like that he's saving most of his O pushes because you're really going to need those on take that clankers, especially if you plan on moving and shooting. That would be a great turn 2 card from Veers, is the suppressing fire.
Does Tim have it?
I must be honest, I don't pay attention to Empire too much as far as what they got from the new release, but these are the adjustments to the 1 pips and some slight points changes. Definitely Empire needs some help. I think that they definitely the lesser played faction now.
There's a lot of things that need help, that's for sure.
Empire has great heavies, Madman, and I really want to see a tank carrying one of those E-webs, but
I'm still waiting for that myself. That'll be fun when you play that on a table. I don't know how competitive it is, but it does seem like it is an enjoyable concept.
and part of this is just having fun. If you love your list and you love playing that kind of style, then the super competitive aspect of it may not be as important.
Yeah, and I think it depends. If you see a generic Rex Arcstar across the table from you, you'd know that you're in a wee bit of trouble. Alright, so here it comes, a Z6 squad into the Stormtroopers. Looking like just light cover.
2 surges and 1 aim in the stack.
Did he pop
That's
offensive push? He did not, so he's saving the offensive push. He does have Rex's aim that he can loan, which it looks like he's going to.
Gets to reroll black. That's good.
Oh my god.
Black does nothing, but another 2 crits from white. Wow, I'd say this makes up for losing an arc.
Yeah, no kidding. This is
Fury.
just devastating. That's going to be 8 total hits down to 7 after cover. Tim saving enough to keep the heavy weapon on the board, though. That's good. But still, that hurts.
It was from the Storm Squad. Now, the Storm Squad does have the range 4 weapon, so it was a poke squad, but still I still think it's better off them than the short troopers at this point. Yeah, we'll see if the offensive rolls hold. The extra aims help. The precision scopes have proven useful. The rerolls on white is usually what Empire does well, but it's working really well for these Z6s.
Absolutely.
I can smell the fury on Tim right now. He's coming in. They're trying to get range 3.
And it looks like he has exactly range 3 that he needs to the unit. He will be shooting into heavy cover. He will only receive light cover in return.
Yeah, I would not particularly feel comfortable leaving shores in light cover against that mass. But
Especially with tank that clankers, this is going to bait him out into it.
he is at the tip of range 3 of base's most forward unit. So, but that take that clankers there. He's within range 4 of everyone.
Alright, so we're going to see some return fire from Tim. Shore is doing Shore things here with an aim.
No surge, but crit 1.
Now they land a crit. He does have those 2 dice he can reroll. Gets another hit out of it, so he's going to end up with 3 saves or 3 damage through at this point. So here's the question. I know he got to range 3 of these guys on purpose. He eliminates 1, by the way. Would it have been more advisable, since you know that Take That Clankers is likely coming next turn, and range 3 versus range 4 is not going to matter, would you have instead moved up to get range to blue, since you've already started whittling them down, to just continue that damage?
Are you talking about stay within range 3 but get even closer to blue?
Yeah, move to be range 3 to blue phase 2s with the shore troopers so that you can continue putting damage on a squad you've already wounded.
I think that's a trap. I think Tim moving into light cover is kind of a trap. He's put himself in a dangerous territory unless he's got a particular plan for next turn. I think any push forward like this into that massive Z6s is very dangerous. I'd potentially like to see another round of ATST fire to thin him out. I think that's a good way to thin him out. I agree, though, that trying to at least get 1 activation of this phase 2s off is a good idea. I just don't know how Tim's going to do it at this point.
Well, right now he has nothing left to respond with. And you're about to see green get in a position where they're likely going to finish off the stormtroopers.
Tim is a gentleman player. He's saying that this would fit normally in IRL.
Yeah, I mean, that's legit. you're dealing with TTS physics, so nothing is, right.
So at this point, you really wish the dewback ran like a tauntaun.
Yeah. You wish that you used that dewback differently. Tim being the perpetual nice guy here, definitely letting him get away with this. Yeah, this is one of those cases where TTS isn't letting you fiddle with it like you can in real life. So this would typically be allowed. The guy would just kind of cram into this corner. Especially if that was the intent. Looks like he's going to go after the shore troopers. I think you finish off the stormtroopers, but they're not exactly a huge threat. So I can see both ways here. Maybe changing up this game plan, going for something else. Gonna split fire here with 5s, perhaps. Fives by himself does do some pretty nasty damage.
It's just 5s. It'll be 3 black, no surge. It looks like he's getting 5s as the leader, so it's measuring from him. We'll have range 3 on that remaining storm squad.
Yeah, and it looks like that's what he's doing. I'm going to take the activation. I always subscribe to that. Oh, he's only attaching... What is he shooting?
Firing with 5s?
I suppose so.
So these 4 black are just the basic troopers, I'm assuming, into heavy cover because of suppression.
And without a surge token there, that is the heavy weapon gone. And now the rest of the squad, I'm assuming, firing at the shores? Oh, so it was the squad firing at... I don't know. Either way, they're splitting fire. Some funky way.
Suppression in that dewback.
Yep, and that's what he was doing. Splitting fire, trying to prevent the dewback from really doing a lot next turn. Dewback actually in danger of potentially panicking off the board if it wasn't for his, what is it called? Endurance.
Endurance is strong. Just could potentially get suppressed unless he sits there and takes a couple shots into turn 2.
Alright, so we're going into turn 2 here. What originally started off as a massive swing of luck for Tim has now completely swung the other direction here with the loss of a dewback by a singular squad. The stormtroopers getting whittled down. The other dewback in a little bit of dire straits with suppression. ATST, however, still untouched.
Hey, they're taking the same number of minis off the table on each side. It just
That is true.
one of those minis is a lot bigger.
Quantity over quality here.
Thinking it out, planning it out. We're going to get the cards in just a moment.
Stand by waiting to see what they play. Looks like Basscor is ready. What is Tim going to throw out here? push versus air support. I was not expecting air support to be played here.
Wow, does get the beam weapon. Has Tim spaced himself out effectively?
Alright, so rolling to see who gets it. It's going to be Tim keeping it, by the looks of it. He seizes the initiative here. Let's see who he deploys it on. Oh, and if you look at my stream now, Ty, I have up my second screen that I was telling you about.
Nice. I like it. It looks really clean.
Yeah, I try to keep it less cluttered this way. Alright, so it looks like we're going to see the generic clone commander activate, of course. Looks like Fives is going to get his token.
Tim has orders on his ATST and his dewback. It's a smart choice. Those are the critical units right now. Also thins out his order pool.
Also getting an order on Rex due to the shenanigans of how clones can do their activations.
So for air support, it is 3 dice, sharpshooter 1 on whichever one he chooses, whether it's Rex or the clone commander. So sharpshooter 1's okay. Tim does have a unit in light cover, so that's a little curious. But I think without any sort of pierce or any additional effects on there, it might just fall a little flat. Potentially taking 1 mini off.
Depends what he wants to do with it. He might be setting up for a fire-supported one against the dewback, maybe.
And the sharpshooter 1 will help.
Trying to roll away some suppression there on the dewback. He does manage to get 1 off there, so the dewback is actually going to be able to do a thing. That's what Tim needed here. And he's activating him first, so he will be able to actually use him before he gets air supported off the board.
Could do a little peekaboo and just be patient, let the ATST do some work.
Yeah, poke forward, shoot, and then retreat completely out of line of sight, preserving the activation here. But it's Tim we're talking about. Why would we expect that to happen? Going ahead and spurring him.
To charge.
Yeah, it looks like Tim's going to spur. Alright, what's he going to do with this guy?
Guess you can avoid that air support if you get within range 3.
That he does. Well, it depends, because he could just air support him from a different commander.
Mm-hmm.
Tim can, in theory, attempt to hide it behind this supply container here. He's trying to get in their face.
Really where you want that extra action from Vader.
So he's trying to get forward yet also behind cover. I don't think this is going to help, because you get yourself in a position here where Rex can... Well, he'd have to expose himself to the ATST, but it's not terrible to still deal with the dewback with stuff that's close enough.
I just don't think the clones are worried about exposing themselves too much at this point, because the Dews were troubled. He's losing a mini off of a shore shot at here and there, but I think just over time the clone army is just going to whittle down the Empire much more.
The ATST is going to have to do some heavy lifting here, that is for sure. Alright, so dewback's going to take some shots here.
This is a hard first activation being so close, but we'll see what it does.
Well, he does land a hit and a surge. I don't know if he surges into anything with this. He surges into a hit, and he does have critical too. So it is going to be 2 saves here. Losing 1. Again, going for an already, or a full squad as opposed to going for one that's already damaged, though. So Tim's spreading his damage out evenly as opposed to focusing fire on a singular squad. Not exactly what I'd recommend, but he's got a plan. He's sticking with it. Alright, Basscor now going to respond. I can't wait to see what deadly shenanigans he's about to pull. Or if he's going to sit on his heels with that air support and just wait until he gets the right target he wants. Now, the air support can strike against the beam attacks someone who's within range 1 of the current target, correct?
Yes.
Does it have to be in line of sight?
Yes.
Of the shooter or of the target?
It has to be in line of sight of the attacker.
Okay.
All units that it's beaming to still have to remain in line of sight. It doesn't necessarily have to stay within range, which is more important for the Saber, because that has a limited range. This shot, however, is for to eliminate, so it doesn't matter too much about the staying in range part.
Yeah, so it looks like he's trying to get a perfect position where he sees both Veers and the shore troopers, which it looks like he's able to do perfectly like this. Oh, he might be actually going for Veers. Oh, there's Veers and shore troopers. Take your pick as to which one he's going to go for. But it looks like he's lining up that perfect shot.
Yeah, potentially 3 different targets. The original target, and then beam 2 does jump to up to 2 additional targets.
This is going to be crazy powerful if he does it. It looks like he has exactly the positioning he wants. So air support's going to do a, as you said, beam 2, so it's going to hit 3 total targets here. It's going to be, yeah, basically all 3 of them. It's going to be a red, 2 black.
I don't think you can see Veers, but that's just me.
When they pulled the silhouette up, I think they could see it through the iron grates. And he gets 3 hits. That works.
That's great. So 2 go through after a sharpshooter.
And unless there's a hidden token here, that's going to be 2 dead shore troopers.
And Tim's rolls are failing him.
Yeah, I don't know if you were keeping stats at all, but it does feel, at least, as though his red saves have been pathetic.
Didn't start the stats this game, but
It certainly feels bad, though.
now I wish I did.
Next one rolls into 3 as well. I'm assuming against Veers. Oh, at least he gets a save there. Taking a wound on Veers, but still deadly attack here. Two hits this time, but he does have that aim. Might as well spend it. Or do you just ignore it because you've already done so well?
I think you just save the aim for the Z6s, because there's definitely targets within range 3.
That is fair.
Yeah, Tim should just play clones. He's been rolling a lot of surges on defense.
Exactly. Taking the wound. A lot of blanks here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful air support shot by Basscor over here.
When you get all 3 targets off of it, it looks like it's pretty effective. And
He
it helps
certainly
you
got his... Yeah, he got his money worth for sure out of that singular card.
Problem with this card, though, is it is a 2-pip that only orders 1 unit. But with 5s and the clone commander, that's not as big of a deal.
That suddenly becomes 3 units. Alright, so the ATST has some decisions to make here. He does have line of sight to quite a few things.
That arc hasn't done anything yet, so taking an activation off before it activates it would be a huge advantage, considering the way things have been going for Tim. I don't know if I'd split fire if you really need to get that mini off. Sometimes you split fire and even 1 mini saves, so we'll see what Tim chooses to do.
Alright, going for the full boat first. Gets everything off. That's going to be
Beautiful.
2 crits and 4 hits.
Not sure what he was aiming at first.
Yeah, I was hoping you caught it. I did not.
I don't see any lines, but he's rolling 3, so it looks like he attacked something in this mass over here since they spent a dodge and using some surge tokens to block all 3.
Yeah, I don't know what he shot at, but whatever it was, didn't matter.
No wounds on
Alright, so on the return of the next one, it gets a crit and a hit. This is definitely going against its singular arc and gets the 3rd. That's going to be 3 saves against this guy. Hopefully he takes out this activation before it goes. And there you go, he manages to.
So the split fire, I think, is still a good choice. It was, unfortunately, the clone defense is super strong on that roll.
Yeah, the clones definitely had enough tokens there to help. Maybe, I don't know what his target was. Was it the other arcs, or was it reds?
Red.
So I wouldn't have bothered shooting at red. I would have maybe tried to shoot at yellow, just to simply get an easier target that's not in the open, but in light cover with no token support.
Yeah. He has done all his objectives on that back Vaporitor, so killing yellow and trying to do some objective war there on that back Vaporitor doesn't look like it's going to happen.
It wouldn't be. It would only be for points and activations is all it would be for. There's nothing to be gained from killing the yellow squad otherwise.
I think Tim started drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think going for yellow would have been the better choice there, simply to deal with, no tokens.
I don't think chat's showing on your screen, but Tim is RIPing himself and hashtagging stuff.
Drunk Tim. Alright, so Basscor over here.
410.
Basscor is going to have plenty of opportunities here to respond. Oof, what does he do first? I mean, your big threat's already activated. You've really hurt one short trooper squad. You have almost a completely worthless stormtrooper to worry about.
Oh, that's nasty. 5s can coordinate to Rex. It's just so versatile with this kind of list.
So I guess the order chain is technically the commander coordinates to fives, fives coordinates to Rex.
Yes. And the clone commander doesn't even need an order on him to direct is different than the coordinate.
Oh, lovely.
Direct happens no matter what.
Here's an order. Go do a thing.
Yep.
Alright, so Rex is going to pump at the dewback. Will he get fire support?
Clones used to have order control issues, but not anymore, apparently.
Looks like he is not fire supporting this one. It's just going to be Rex flexing into 3 hits.
Armor and cover. Looks like he's getting him out of cover with that position, using jump with the jetpacks to get up there.
However,
but armor will bring that down to 2 and blocks them both.
Yep, so works out just fine. Does eat a suppression now. And this might be a dumb move, but I would have used. Well, you don't have the Z6. You only have 5s. So I don't know if I would have bothered to attach that. If there was a Z6 token out there, I would have definitely fire supported.
It's a little tricky because he's getting away from the snows with the back to capsule. So even if since the snows do have the back to capsule, they're not within anywhere close of that dewback to take a wound off.
They're not going to get there anytime soon. There's no way. Thank you for the follow, Banshee Pants. Much appreciated. I can't see because I have it covered. What did he say?
Are you talking about chat?
Yeah, not game chat, or yeah, in-game chat.
So, Tim's saying something about the wrong token, question mark. We don't know. It won't matter.
A little bit of order token mix-up, but yeah, as he stated, it doesn't likely matter.
I have hope, Tim. I have hope that your bad rolls will somehow flip and help you out at some point.
One can hope. It does knock that suppression off, though, so that is a positive.
Grabs hollow projector, which is great.
Along with precision scopes. Yeah, both those are pretty nice add-ons for a shore trooper group.
As long as he's getting these shots off with a close to full force shore squad, this should be good.
And he is not at the moment. I don't think there's a way that he can make it to be range 3 and still maintain cover.
He could speed one over this barricade and stay in heavy cover. I think it could happen.
You might be able to leave 2 back. Yeah, you're right.
He's pretty much picked a mini off of most of these Z6 squads, so they're all equal targets at this point.
This is going to be dangerous, though.
I would say I would move closer to these large crates in the middle to cut off his entire army from seeing this shore squad.
Yeah, and then, like, just get in line of sight of 1 instead of the entire gambit like he is now.
Yeah.
Alright, looking like Tim's definitely going to go after this squad here with 5s. Looks like an open shot to me. I don't know, they might call it differently.
That is a nice benefit of this sidestep.
Well, at least he has an aim here.
He does.
Not that it helps, but at least he had it.
4 right now.
In theory, it could eliminate the squad. And it won't. That's some great, great rolling by Basscor over here. Burn a random surge token.
Tim is laughing in chat.
Man, you just can't... You can't get away from it sometimes. Snowballing effect, it feels like. Deco properly pointing out a very solid topic for STABcast.
Tim is trying to catch things out of cover, rolling halfway decent attack rolls, and nothing is landing. This is just painful.
Just spread around that damage.
I guess one benefit is they are close to... No, Tim's down one activation because he lost his D-back. And he's almost has another activation gone with that Stormtrooper squad. That dewback really needs to live and make it in their first activation next round.
They could do it depending on the suppression that comes in on them. Well, purple is their choice. They can try and... Ooh, they're going after the shore troopers. Okay. Light cover, range 3. Heavy cover because of suppression. They do have a Z6. They have an aim. They could do some pretty hefty damage here and try and eliminate this activation.
Problem is Rex's 1-pip can shoot into melee. Even if that dewback gets in there.
Alright, so burning this aim to reroll these 3 white dice. First Z6 without an insane amount of crits. Instead just gets an insane amount of hits.
More re-rolling white dice and getting 2 hits. This is crazy.
White dice are the new red die.
This is why you pick blue, fellas.
Oh my god, rolls into another perfect roll.
Wow.
And he has the tokens all over the board to support all of this, by the way.
And
So-
this is heavy cover. He does have suppression, so
Which is fine, it's still 7
Right,
dice
that's
coming in. Alright,
Ben is
7
trying
dice
to
time.
provide some context, some sort of reasoning for what's happening here.
Woof! And that eliminates the Shore Trooper squad. So, before it even activated, that is a dead Shore Trooper squad that's now off the board. A singular Stormtrooper left. And a full health ATST, but I don't know if the ATST is going to be able to carry everything that's left that he needs to do on its back. Just straight up deletes F's in chat.
He could just charge with the ATST. It does roll 4 red in melee.
Veer's over here. Able to clear his own suppression. Could remove the suppression from the Stormtrooper if he remembers, but he doesn't.
This is just Z6's.
Looking to move up and use the blaster, I suppose.
This scares me. Any list going up against something like this, it just scares me for every future game.
I mean, you know my opinion privately on a list like this, but... Oh, and he gets a crit with the blaster. Just aces one Shore Trooper. No question about it. Or not Shore Trooper, Phase 2.
Phase 2. Not bad, Veers.
Veer's going out and doing it himself since no one else can. As in, quite literally, no one else is left to do anything else.
I know. Pulling up the fullbacks.
Alright, so it looks like it's now Veers and the ATST that are the MVPs of the list for Tim.
Veers is going to get one-shotted next round.
I don't know. There's some choice targets out there that Basscor can still go after. There's a shore trooper unit that can still be eliminated, which might happen with blue over here. The dewback, which needs to be eliminated, but you still have arcs that can do that.
Still has a 3 mini Z6 squad, so with 5s, which, oh man.
Gets 1 suppression knocked off of the squad with 5s.
But 5s makes that courage 3, so not even suppressed.
Takes an aim, gonna shoot some things. Looks like they're going after the dewback, because it's in the open. Why not?
That's very true, Isbodicus. Tim can play for victory points ties, so as powerful as this army is, if they tie in victory points, it's just a win by points.
Which does impact Basscor later in rounds, by the way. So it's not exactly a bad thing to play out the game. Simply withdrawing and conceding and giving them the full points does get them a giant boost and potential. Well, it more hurts the winner than it does the loser. The loser would still get 0 points, but the winner at this point would then get full points. So you want to at least get some points on the board so that it carries forward into the later rounds, or at least denying someone the ability to just zoom ahead of everybody else. So rolling 3 crits and a hit. The 1 hit is ignored. Makes looks like a save is going to burn the surge for 2. So it's going to be 1 more wound on the dewback. Creeping up there, but more importantly, another suppression.
I could see Rex just jetpacking across the board for the last couple turns.
Well, they can eliminate that single unit. Jump, shoot him. Next turn, jump. He has plenty of turns left. This is only turn 2.
Yeah. Not much left that could kill Rex at this point.
Alright, Tim pulling the trooper units. He has his choice of the single guy or some of the snow troopers in the back, which still need to even do things. Thank you, by the way, John Solo, for the follow. Much appreciated. Alright, looks like the snows over here are going to pull another card. They get the hollow projectors, and they're going to go ahead and repair the Vaporator. Looks like maybe he's repairing it, maybe not. I think he might have repaired it first. Never mind, because it took him all last turn to get there. So his first repair on that one. Blue over here. What will they do? Red instead. Red has plenty of things that they can do now that they've finished repairing, and they're a full squad with the Z6. Yellow over there can move and do a thing. Yeah, pointing out that Tim somehow swept the round robin Invader League last season, which was quite the miracle. But hey, Cinderella stories do happen, only to later crash and burn. But still, he did great. He did great during the time that he was in.
One of the more exciting runs during round robin. People were watching Tim's games.
Alright, Z6 unit going against this Dewback in the open again, this time from purple. Not as great of a roll this time. Does still have an aim. And I say not that great this turn, yet that's still a fantastic roll. Just comparatively to previous times.
Scope should cost twice as much for clones.
Rolls into a total of 5 hits. Armor's going to ignore one of them, so it's going to be down to 4.
Okay. So statistically, 2 wounds.
Or
Gets it.
exactly 2 wounds. So the Dewback on his last leg here. They do have 5 health, right? 6. So his
6.
last leg and tail could be eliminated this turn, though. There's still more to go. There are still more Z6s that could easily get shots.
Oh, man.
Hell, even the Arc could do it. Alright, the Solo gonna run up here. Gonna just run up because he has suppression, and Tim forgot to remove it. Looks like he's gonna get into cover behind, keep the activation alive.
Potentially.
Very easy activation there, then back to Basscor, who has arcs and a bunch of troopers left. And he pulls the arcs. Think he's going to shoot the Dewback with these guys, try and eliminate them, or do you think he's going to go after the shores?
With crit and pierce, it's an easy wound.
Hell, he's in range. He might even be able to just do both weapons and up his chances of getting another crit.
I think this is the best choice. His Dewback is really his only threat right now, outside of just the constant ATST fire. And you saw how well the ATST did on 6 dice, so I don't think...
Now the ATST's doing great for his shooting. It's Basscor's doing great on his saving.
Yeah, I wish I started my stats and I could kept tabs on how well he's saving.
Well, it feels better than Tim saves, I'll put it that way.
I think I don't need stats to know that.
Alright, so a little bit of hemming and hawing here as to what he wants to do. I think the safe bet is you go for that Dewback. You might have range to get both of them to shoot at the Dewback, which I think is the right move. Well, he has range for the rifle version. He could move and be able to do pistols, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be the... What's it? There's going to be 2 black, a red, and a white out of this. He has the rangefinder if he wants to just completely remove all the... Well, he has them out of cover anyway. Gets an aim for the move, which is absolutely silly. Does not have an aim to spare, but that's probably okay.
Ooh. Might have some issues on that, because I believe that's heavy cover.
Doesn't look like the line hits anything.
From top down, it does.
Yes, because this is a 2D game. In theory, that line does cross the heavy container. So you are right, that would be heavy cover. Depends on how they rule it, though.
He does have an aim, so he's going to be rerolling. Does not get a crit. Armor should block that.
Apparently they're calling it open. Tim does roll and save, though, so the Dewback is fine. Does get another suppression, though, which is kind of huge. It does force Basscor to have to use another unit, though, to fire at the dewback as opposed to elsewhere. I'm not sure that really gets Tim anything, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
It's a nice breather. Tim gets a little bit of a breather off that after that one.
Alright, so it looks like the snow's over here pulling off the grapple line. And then they're going to repair the objective again. And then they can go and do a thing, like attempt to catch up to the dewback, which moved way too aggressively away from them.
Little baby steps, moving forward.
Alright, now back to Basscor. And keep in mind, we are still in turn 2. Still in turn 2 here.
And it's been a bloodbath. Mostly on one side. But Tim has been picking off some minis, which would normally be good attrition. But he's received much more pain.
Yeah, it started off so well with that ATST. And then kind of went downhill from there. Alright, so it looks like he's pulling tokens and not getting a lot of useful tokens. Basscor ripping the other supply crate, grabbing grapple lines. What in the world is Red going to do here? They roll their suppression away, so they get full... Well, they would have been fine anyway, but they have no suppression anymore, so that's not a problem for them. Well, you can just try and shoot the dewback in heavy cover by just doing the whole cohesion line of sight. And just accept the heavy cover. And hope for crits.
Doesn't look like he has many reserve aim tokens. Doesn't have any.
This squad does have offensive push, however.
I'd say this is the time to attack the clones without any surges, but that's what Tim's been doing all turn.
There's no more things to attack the clones with. So yeah, it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to do the line of sight, cohesion line of sight thing. Get some shots off on that dewback with the rest of the squad. The squad leader is not going to be able to do it. Use offensive push.
Also, by doing this, he's going to have heavy cover against the ATST.
Absolutely. That ATST no longer going to be able to... Well, ATST only able to see the commander at this point. Which then benefits Red Squad if he gets eliminated. Because then the unit leader then moves to a position that has line of sight on the dewback.
And a more forward position.
Yep. Alright.
Still all good things happening on the clone side. Roll coming off.
Alright, with an aim from offensive push. Nine dice going out. Will the crit machine make some crits? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow. What the hell? Not enough surge tokens to convert all of those, though.
He can convert one. He still has an aim with a scope on it, though. Which is the potential for 3 more crits, knowing how these dice have been rolling. Nothing for once. So you take those 2 hits away. I wouldn't even bother burning the surge because it's irrelevant, because armor would eat it. You just go with those 2 crits.
Yep. 2 Gets through. Could potentially be a dead do. Oh.
That
Another
brings him
one.
up to 5. He is on his last leg now. However, more importantly, the surge stack is up, or not surge, suppression stack is up to 6. So he still, at the moment, is at risk of panic. Even after endurance.
After endurance.
One more would pretty much put it over the top to feel safe in the fact that he might run, but I don't think you have anything left that can do it. Yellow will be out of range. I don't even know what the hell you do with the yellow. Crit fish against the ATST, move forward, and I don't know.
I don't think yellow needs to do anything.
Move forward and become token batteries, I suppose.
I think so. They've done their job.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to move forward and become a token battery.
Can use those grappling hooks. Oh, this one's got the precision scopes. Never mind.
All right, it looks like we're
get the aim and just not spend it.
Looks like we're going to get a new turn here.
Yeah, Kruger, if that lone storm sneaks around and manages to tap that Vaporator, that would be such a turn. That'd be hilarious.
He has enough turns left to do it. I don't know if he's going to have anything on the board with which to do it.
I think it'll be pretty obvious what's happening, though.
All right, what do you think we're going to see here? I think you're going to see, I forget what it is, the recovery for the dewback to get the suppression off him. Yep, discipline.
I think assault. Or whatever that 1-pip equivalent is.
Ah, call me captain.
Did he just pull his ambush back to call me captain?
They discussed it, so that's fine by me.
Tim is disgusted.
I can't read what they said.
Basically said, Tim said we discussed it. He flipped it before base was ready. Or declared he was ready.
Gotcha. Well, bad job, Tim. I mean, in the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter at all.
It's a 1-pip for a 1-pip. It was
Yeah.
really... He's still activating first.
Still activating first. Gets a little more fancy with the fire support for melee if the dewback makes it in, but that dewback is not making it in.
Now, fire support that doesn't flip over Rex's order token. And this dewback's dead. But I don't see much any other option. Veers had to pop all that suppression off.
Oh yeah, there was no option around it. Otherwise, he was taken off the edge of the board. Or at least you're risking it going off the edge of the board on a really hopeful roll of white saves.
Yeah. He doesn't have to dedicate a full squad against this. He could use one of those 3 mini squads. Base could and still pick off the dewback.
Alright, so we're going to do a little table drawing real quick. Alright, so effectively we have the Dewback here. I think that he's going to get aced. Probably purple. He's going to go into him. Rex is going to attach. That basically eliminates the Dewback. Or either them or Rex. Or not Rex, fives. One of the two. The shore troopers over here, they're just open for the chomp by whatever else in this mess that you want. It looks as though you might have some problems coming up. As everyone's saying, you could run the stormtrooper around the hill over. I can't see where the hell I'm drawing. Grabbing the objective there, but there's no way. That's going to take probably 2 turns to get over there. And you have Yellow Squad right here, who's just lying in wait that they're going to go and intercept if he swings around, even if he tries to do it, because they have nothing else to do. So that's probably what's going to happen there. Looks like Blue Squad's actually moving to go and deal with the Dewback as opposed to anybody else. Rex will obviously attach there, and they're just going to light up that Dewback. So that's at least what I think is going to happen.
They have used offensive push already, so there should not be any aims on this fire support.
Correct. But do they need the aims? I don't know. They've been rolling well enough as is.
So, we'll find out. Getting them out of cover.
You only need 1 wound. You're firing in with red dice and a Z6, mind you.
I think you could use more dice on this one.
Well, what do you know?
Interesting.
That's barely enough.
That's 3, and then how many surges do you use on this?
I think you use both.
3 down to 2.
I think you use it.
Make it convincing. Get him to roll 4 dice.
Yeah, don't risk it. You need 1 out of these. It's
Go
oh,
Tim.
there you go. There you go. He has it. He's safe.
Got it.
I was going to say you need 4 to guarantee one of those failures, but they had the surge token on him.
God, he did it.
Now that said, it bought him this charge, which Rex can fire into combat.
Rex can fire into combat. Now, if he positions it so no one else can get into combat, he's got this squad that already activated. So maybe the Dew is protected for 1 more turn.
I don't know.
I'm just proud. No matter what happens, I'm proud of this Dewback.
Yeah, this Dewback has sustained more fire and lived through it than the other Dewback, which did a bad job, let's be honest.
Didn't do anything at all.
Well, it should have done a thing, and Tim didn't do it.
Yeah.
It was very clear what he should have done, and Tim just did not do it.
Good intentions. Can't displace the leader, so he's just going to nose right into that.
Yep. Oh, he can displace the leader, but it would not work out for him at all if he did.
Technically, he can.
Yes. It would be unwise for him to do so. Now's when you also hope the Dewback doesn't roll crazy good.
Now, this is nice because they changed the coherent rule so you can cohere in combat as if you're moving through the unit, so it doesn't have to worry about. Technically, you could have cohered on the other side and left some room for another melee to come in, like potentially green or purple to go in melee as well.
Yeah.
But kind of blocked himself off.
Alright, so not having to worry here about the Dewback rolling too well.
Crit 2 is nice.
That is going to be 4 damage. A really poor roll here from Basscor could actually work out in his favor. Trade that unit for the ability to shoot that Dewback. I mean, you're not going to see all 4 of these blank, but... Oh, Jesus. Or does he take it for the chance to kill him?
Wow.
I think you take the squad. I think you take the squad for the ability to just shoot them dead. It's.
I may agree with that.
He chooses death. I would too.
Very well worded. He's losing the whole squad.
Yep, I agree with this. I honestly do agree with this.
All right, so made the points back on that do-back, at least. Taking out that phase 2 squad.
I agree with this for the simple fact of A, it doesn't really matter. It actually makes the game progress quicker. You do lose a Z6 out of it.
He was going to lose the Z6 anyway. As far as the heavy goes, for that matter.
Yeah, there was not enough surge tokens close enough. Well, maybe.
Rex can still fire support onto him, though. So,
Yeah.
Not is still buffed by Rex. Like this one.
Oh, that is not what you hope.
Did pull an aim token. Is he going to use it? Dedicating more surges. Not bad.
Yeah, you definitely want to pour the dice into this. You want him to have to roll more dice than statistically needs. And there you go, gets exactly what Basscor is hoping for. So at the end of the day, you trade a almost full squad for Dewback here. That Dewback did good. He made his points.
And diverted a ton of fire.
Yeah, I mean, a turn and a half worth of fire. And you keep your solid core position as opposed to being strewn out there in the open for the ATST to then just waylay into you by killing the Dewback. That's the other pro to this. I know people are saying that he should have kept him on the board and just had another unit go out and melee, but if he killed that Dewback, this ATST would then have shots in the open on you as opposed to in cover or behind line of sight blocking. So that was the secondary effect that I think that Basscor was looking at was, I'm now sacking 2 units out here in the open for an ATST to just mulch.
I'm very curious how he uses this ATST now.
Well, he can see stuff. It's what arc are they going to be in is the question.
Turn, because it doesn't seem like he has a solid shot on anyone. Technically, the yellow should be out of cover.
Yes, because they are occupying the same piece of terrain. Yellow's the easy call. I don't know if it's the right call. Green depends on the arc. I suspect they're in, but I don't know. I'd have to see. Green is not in the arc. He'd have to pivot.
5 would not die. He would revive with 1 wound left. He did 3 wounds to this green squad.
Instead, firing the full gambit at yellow, which does open up the Hail Mary move.
I'd root for that.
6 hits on yellow. That's pretty good. Needs another good roll here. Ooh.
Ooh, is that a dead?
That is exactly the roll Tim needed. And without the token support, that is a dead squad.
A nice wipe right there.
That does open up that objective in the back now. Tim can Hail Mary it with the Stormtrooper leader.
I'd be curious what the points are at.
I don't run a point cost, so I don't know.
Yeah. Tim is still behind, probably because 2 dudes and a shore. But that's getting closer and closer. Tim should save his minis and just let the ATST go crazy.
Yeah, at this point, I think you pull back. I don't... There's enough there that can kill the ATST. There's no lie about that. But that said, the ATST can likely do enough damage that it might not... Ooh, I don't know, I don't want to say not recoverable, but... The ATST still has the ability to do quite a lot here. This game is definitely not going how I thought it would go. I'm not going to lie.
It's going in, I guess to use the word surges, where it's swinging back and forth. Tim is definitely still in a difficult, challenging spot, but that every little bit helps, and those 2 activations definitely helped.
I mean, it keeps buying him more and more hope, I'll put it that way. That said, if you eliminate the Stormtrooper leader, that really puts him back. Eliminating the Shore Trooper unit basically makes the game out of reach. I mean, there's plenty of things that can still happen here. This ATST will have to pivot and fire. He doesn't really have much in the way of line of sight anymore, so he's going to actually have to move him. Without the ability for the ATST to reposition before a move, it might cost that ATST almost a full turn to do anything.
Yeah. He could move to the edge of the bunker.
Basscor does not have impact, but who needs impact when you roll the crits that he's been rolling? Sorry to cut you off. And then to answer your question, Lord Dorn, I believe my Twitch saves it for 14 days, and I believe I re-enabled Twitch to back up to my YouTube channel. So they should be in perpetuity on my YouTube channel, provided it works as intended. Alright, so moving the arcs up. I think he's going for the Shore Trooper shot? Yeah, that's probably the right call. Start whittling that down. Oh, and he's going to fire support it. This could be potentially very deadly for those Shore Troopers.
Yeah, if he pulls the other shores off, that's a huge win, because the only thing left are naked snows and veers, essentially.
Now, again, the ATST, but it becomes the game of, can you hide from the ATST for 2 turns, which, yes, I believe you can.
Yeah, I think so. A little ring around the rosy game. Welcome back, Bees. Yeah, it's... Tim's lost all of his trooper firepower for the most part, except the shore squad that is pending at this moment.
Ooh, that is not as good as a roll as you would have thought, but it's still really good. I hate that I'm like, oh, that's not as good of a roll, but I'm comparing it to his, like...
7 paint is still...
Yeah, I'm comparing it to his earlier rolls, which were just absolutely phenomenal. 7 paint on a roll like this is still exceptionally good. Plus an aim.
Burning through some surges, but the 3 surges remaining, and an aim on the...
So rolls into 2 crits, 5 hits, 2 surges. Has enough surge tokens to go ahead and burn those, so why not? You're talking, what, 9 down to 7? There's a very good chance that you eliminate the Shore Trooper squad here without any tokens on it. That's going to be 7 saves. Statistically, he should lose 3 or 4. Ooh! Tim says not today. Not today.
Someone brought his clone armor.
Leaving up just the heavy weapon and the leader. A great Save by Tim. I gotta give him. Well, I mean, I can't give anyone
yeah.
credit. I gotta give him props for the luck that he got there. Way
Yeah,
above
but I mean,
average.
Shores need to shoot and move out of line of sight.
So Veers is going to activate, remove that suppression. Veers should shoot and retreat as well. I don't know, depends on how dicey you want to get things. You could probably take aim and then shoot. Let Veers take a turn of fire. Looking for some nice surges or crits here. Hell, even... hell no, it's going to be heavy because it does clip that barricade. But Crit Machine over here could do it. And he is going to take aim. He's going to leave Veers out here, which I think is probably the right move.
He needs to keep pulling minis off the board.
Ooh, he gets it.
Ooh. Oh, 2 crits.
2 crits, Pierce 1. Needs to roll perfect. Oh no, they have Impervious, don't they? No.
They do. Why isn't he rolling them? Oh, that's ugly leaning dice, but technically that's pulling paint. Did he go against Arcs?
I thought he went against Arcs. So yeah, he's got to re-roll. So...
Wow.
Oh man, that's
so mean.
That's an insult right there.
Tim brought back down to reality a little bit.
Had a golden opportunity there, and then youch. Arc said no. Damn, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better roll from Veers, though.
I know. If he pulled that extra activation off, that would have been really big. But
that would have been a huge swing.
There's always the would'ves. Core token up for clones.
I think it's
He
green.
spotter. You can spotter yourself. So he spotted Veers and the Shores. Yeah, I think going with green, so it looks he's clicking some potential split fires. I don't think he's split.
No, he was just nominating or showing who's still left. He failed to show that the Stormtrooper leader is still left alive, though. Alright, so it looks like red is going to go ahead and do a thing. They can move up and take a shot. It'd be fire-supported shot if it cared. They can go after Veers, likely catch them in the open. They can go after the Shores, try and eliminate them. There are some big options here. Thank you for the follow, Lord Dorn. Much appreciated. Ooh, gets him into... is that technically range 3? It looks like it is just clipping the base.
Yep.
I would go for Veers.
Veers is sticking out. Full red squad, full Z6 squad, popping offensive push, it looks like.
And that moved him out of range 3. So yeah, that's what he's doing. He's going back to that corner. I'd do the fire supported with green at Veers. In theory, he's only going to catch the light cover from the platform, not the heavy cover from the crate, depending on how they call it. Hell, he might get lucky depending on where it calls the center of the base, too.
They split the cover between the... So just the very edge is...
Well, it depends on what the players called it as.
That's tricky. Especially for TTS, that's a tricky terrain piece right there.
Oh no, it did the silly aim. We'll see how they call it. They might just give them the light or heavy cover. Not fire supporting it, surprisingly.
Two hits, one of them being a crit. We got some surges up, and very short supply of surge tokens.
I think you just go with the crit. You need to burn 2 to potentially wound him once. I think you just go with the crit. Well, I don't know. Might as well go with it. Why not?
He may have had the aim from O-Push. I thought he tapped O-Push for this squad now. Or was that last turn?
I think that was last turn. Ooh, and Veers fails.
Takes a wound. 1 for 1.
Thank you for the follow, BG. Much appreciated. Yeah, he did burn it last turn. Alright, so it looks like the Shores are going to move or attack here. I suspect they're going to fire and then run.
That's heavy cover. He's saying I'm shooting green because green is not in cover, which is a good shot. He already has an aim token from Spotter.
Yeah, that's the better choice there. Because the 2 give away the 1. There he goes. Well, it's
Crit 1.
crit 1 plus an aim. Oh, he took an aim.
He doubled aim. So he has an aim and then he took an aim action.
That is 5 hits. Down 1 because of, I guess, a suppression somewhere. Oh! Well then.
Wow.
You have to burn that surge.
Burn the surge and he's down to just 5s.
Yep.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's his suppression stack was on the side. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't near the unit. That's fine. Alright, so yeah, you have to burn that surge. 5s does have 2 hit points though, right?
Correct.
Alright, so he can sustain another round of shooting. But still, 5s by himself is still nasty and gets all his tricks.
And 5s is visible to the ATST.
Yes, but the ATST does still have to pivot to hit him. Which is not terrible.
That's true.
Can the ATST see the other sniper? I don't believe he can. Ooh, he might technically be able to through the grates. And with... So here's my crazy sauce theory. As they're rolling away suppression for 5s here, who's going to probably get into cover.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
Oh no, he's going to aim and fire back at Veers here. Or the Shores, maybe?
Probably Shores needs to take off that heavy weapon.
Yeah, so 5's going to do this. So here's my thinking. ATST can pivot. When he pivots, he can still see 5s, and he can see both of the arcs. The one arc thinks that he's probably behind cover, but you can actually see probably his silhouette behind and through the grates in the light platform. So you take a split fire shot at 5s and the arcs, hoping you roll great and take them both out. That's my thinking.
It's hard because they're both in heavy cover.
Just roll crits. Problem solved. Alright, so 5's re-rolling here. Lions into a hit, or crit and 2 hits. It's going to be heavy cover, so it's just this crit. And he gets the heavy weapon. Bunch of squad leaders are left. Rex still has to go. Rex can charge forward like a crazy person and probably eliminate the shore trooper leader. And do his other fire at Veers.
Yeah, at this point I could just start getting aggressive. Make the ATST pivot. You're just not going to lose as much as Tim's going to lose.
Not enough to make a difference.
Oh! Cohesion with the Bacta capsule, getting the heavy weapon back.
Oh, good call. Good call indeed. We don't know the points destroyed. I don't keep track of it. If I had to guess, Tim is behind by at least 200 something. Because all that Tim's killed is 2 ARC squads and a singular Phase 1 group. So there's still... There's still a ton on the board. It doesn't look like it, but there's still a ton on the board.
Get Veers, not the heavy.
What?
Interesting.
I guess he just assumes that Rex is going to come over there and kill him.
Tim's lost 2 dues, a full shore. Yes. And I think that's it.
Yeah, 2 dues and a full shore. But he's down to single unit leaders for a lot of squads. He did not lose the RT yet because he still has the unit leader up.
So a lot of bleeding units.
So Rex hopping down to be safe. And then repair this guy and then move on out. However, this exposes Tim to be tabled at this... Well, I don't think you're going to be able to kill the ATST in, well, 4 turns. It just exposes all his core, though, by doing this instead of keeping the stuff back.
You kill everything except the ATST. It's still kind of tabling.
Turn 2 currently.
Still turn 2.
Still turn 2. Or no, I'm sorry, this is turn 3. I completely forgot that we've moved on to turn 3.
This is turn 3.
Yeah, and it's the end of turn 3 except for the lone stormtrooper leader.
At this point, they're still going to go down to points. So they're tied.
And yeah, doing
earlier the round robin stage, you want to win by victory points.
You don't want to win by victory points. You want to win by a large margin of... Oh yeah, sorry, victory points, not kill points.
You want to win by victory points, yeah,
yes.
If you can. Yeah, you want to just wipe your opponent. We're seeing this storm leader do the little loop-de-loop around the small cliffs here, and
he does have the time to do it.
To that objective.
I don't know what to expect here in terms of
Tim
cards.
might have to burn a turn on the ATST just to move to the cliff.
No matter what, he's going to have to pivot at some point. He could
double
forward move.
Double move, because he's only slowed down by 1 going over that cliff. He can move to the cliff edge, single move over, double move so he's pointing at the entire army out of cover. Potentially. See, I think they could pick off that storm from where they're standing is the problem. The ATSD has to block it off.
Alright, so we see ambush, and we see maximum firepower here. Veers is going to do some things. This ATST can pivot, like I said, and eliminate both 5s and the arcs if he wanted to.
Veers could shoot, then back up outside of range 3 and maybe maximum firepower. The arcs, if he positions that right, he could get the arcs out of cover.
Heck, he has a lot of options. He could maximum firepower the the clone leader. He could probably get red. He can shoot the arcs. He can shoot 5s.
Looks like he is using the holo projector.
Alrighty.
You read your text, Krugar.
I mean, he might as well. That way it ups his chances of getting that ATST when he wants it.
He has 2 holo projectors. He looks like he's using both.
Yep, it gives him better activation control.
What do you think? Should he save the shores or try and get the surprise attack off from Veers? I don't even know who's going first. Who's priority?
Oh, I missed it.
Tim was assigning orders first, so I'm assuming he rolled priority, but I missed that roll.
Yeah, I would suppose that Tim gets it because he was issuing orders. That said, we see arcs get it, we see 5s get one. So effectively, this shore trooper either needs to run and hide, or Veers needs to get really lucky with some shots.
He should still get 3 orders. Clones should.
There it is. Still coming out. I don't know. Do you preserve the shore, or do you try and cause some heavy damage before they have a chance to hide? I don't know what the better option is here.
I think saving the shores, especially since that shore is now out of cover completely, you need to save that shore. Get a suppression off on something, and then hide.
Yeah, take the easy shot, run behind this large heavy crate, never to be seen from again. Or, if you really want to, you can go behind the comm building.
Yeah. Veers is going to take a huge shot, though, and could potentially die.
Oh, maybe Basscor won initiative? I missed it. Or is he just checking ranges for things? No, he might be out of range for the commander to order him. Sorry, I forgot the transition. That is on me. Sorry about that, Bees. Thank you for reminding me. So no, it does look like Basscor is getting the initiative here. So he must have won the roll.
Yeah, he's doing a little footwork with 5s, trying to cram him in the spot. Probably shouldn't be able to fit.
It should fit. It's the close enough, just like last time. And he's going to take the shot at this shore trooper. In the open, giving himself a little more cover. 3 black with an aim. He can do it. Ooh, gonna definitely need that aim.
Sure does have 1 surge on him.
Has a surge.
He forgot the reliable surges.
Ah, hey, if he wants to give it to him, I honestly would.
I think it's a
must.
Yeah, it's a mandatory, kind of like defense.
Gotcha. Well, he rolls into 2 hits. Alright, 2 saves here. Tim can do it. Oh!
I saw it too!
It started off so well and then rolled right off of it. That's huge. Okay, well, I thought Tim had won initiative. Without winning initiative, that really hurts. He needed that save, and it was there too.
doesn't let up. Tim does not get a break. So now Veers is taking his turn, and we'll get 2 actions and then maximum firepower.
I think you aim, shoot at the arcs, and then firepower the clone commander? Because I don't know.
I don't know, maybe not aim, shoot the arcs, then back up and see if you can finish the arcs. I don't know, I think he needs to get that activation off. The clone commander has red saves for some reason. I know it's a clone, but all the other commanders have white saves. Yeah, it does take an aim. You're right.
Yep, he's going to do the pot shot at the arcs, try and repeat his success he had last time, and then I guess he's going to maximum firepower the clone commander.
He does get an aim on these snow troopers with spotter, though.
Yep, not gonna maybe help. Oh yeah, because he could just start peekabooing at this point too.
There's a crit.
Oh man. Well, he has 1, so this is 2 saves to try and keep the arcs on the board. Which again, it opens it up to the. He should have a save, shouldn't he? Guess he's taking it on 5s? Not sure how that worked. How did 5s take the wound? Does 5s have Guardian or something that I'm missing here?
Maybe he intended on attacking 5s.
Yeah, he must have intended to shoot
I
5s.
clicked the wrong one.
Whoa!
Yes!
That's what you need.
That's a good roll. Still down to 3. And misses 2.
That's good. That's really good. I have no idea how many wounds they have. 4? 4. Okay.
I want to see that ATST finish that off. That could happen.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to pivot to do it. I still think you pivot and fire at some other stuff, but you lose the aim. He could full bore into the clone commander and kill him.
That'd be a huge advantage, getting the order token cooled down a little.
Yeah, the only issue is that's a lot of points spent to kill a 55-point unit, which is sad.
Yeah, leaving these Z6 squads still almost full force.
That and the arcs and 5s. I mean, he's got a large point deficit to make up here. And a 55-point 55-point unit is not going to do it. Ah, so now he's going to hide the arcs a little bit here.
I can kind of see the base of 5s do this great.
I'm sure if you silhouette it, you could see it.
Maybe a little. Yeah, I agree. Veers is the next on the chopping block.
Oh, I totally see some Z6 shells just going right at him. Red has him in the open, I think. Purple can move and get him in the open. There's now aims that are on the board from blue moving, or the arcs moving. Veers is definitely going this turn. Arcs looking like they're going to pop the snows. I think they had line of sight on Veers. They could have taken a shot on Veers if they wanted to.
I think Veers was sticking out. He may just figure he can finish it off with a Z6. Uses the aim for Pierce.
Yep, takes away a snow. Alright, Tim, what are you gonna do?
Does potentially suppress the snows that he has to roll it off.
He's going to go ahead and activate the other snowtrooper group.
Still can't do much with this squad, but can get closer. You'd have to double move into dangerous territory with the snow. But if he picks off 5s with a lucky crit, that would be a huge advantage.
That would free up the ATST to do a lot of other things.
I agree.
Yeah, I think you do it. You risk it.
Yeah, at this point, he needs to.
You've got nothing else you can do. He did put himself in a position where he can't do it, though. He does have the range. He just isn't going to do it. Ah, now he sees it. Now he's repositioning to deal with it.
Yep. I see it down the line.
Yeah, he has it. No question about it. Heavy cover. Crit fish. Hope for the best. Alright, here it goes. Moment of truth. Can the snows do it?
Chance on 4 dice.
Oof.
Oh. Surge is out.
Not with, well, I mean, that is 2 hits, but it's
2
irrelevant.
hits, but it's heavy.
Not what you wanted to see.
But good attempt. 5 is under pressure.
Looks like Rex is just shimmying about.
This is interesting. Rex moving back takes away from his potential to rush the objectives and try and win on victory points.
Rex being a token battery, I think they're really setting up to just eliminate Veers here. So in theory, I wonder how close he is if he can peekaboo these. Oof. So he's going to have to commit to whatever he's going to do.
So he can still peek around. He can get heavy cover on most of the shots and still see 5s.
Yeah, it's more the fact that he'd be able to peekaboo out and then back into cover, never to be seen.
Yeah.
I think you go for 5s here. You're definitely trying to eliminate him. You got to aim.
Like that wall.
If you're going to do that, put him behind the barricade, man. There you go.
Yeah. I don't think Tim's interested in figuring out fancy cohesion right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Tim's just searching for any hope. I don't think that the rest really matters. It'll be a good shot. Crit
Rerolling
fishing
white
here.
dice. I've heard good things.
I've seen good things from the Z6 doing it. Well, that's... I think you re-rolled the single.
Oh no!
Another suppression is all you get. Ooh, that's rough. Alright, pulling the trooper commander, or clone commander here. Will we see him duck into cover? I think we probably will. Oh man, he's able to remove that suppression too. If I was Basscor here, I'd just move the clone commander to be behind cover.
Yeah, I think he needs to the ball up and charge up this spirit bomb he's got going here.
Yeah, if he just sits behind cover so that ATST can't see over stuff, has to come around the corner, he's basically won the game. If the ATST has to move and forgo a shooting phase, that's the game right there. He might have put himself in a position where he's going to be exposing that clone commander whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, don't need more space, and he's not in range to do any firing.
I think that the turn is going to be the ATST pivots, fires at 5s, and the clone commander tries to take out both. Ah, token battery. Okay.
Wow, and left him in sights of the ATSD.
Yeah, he was going to be in sights of the ATST no matter what you do. I think you pivot. I think you definitely pivot. Take out 5s and the clone commander. Oh, he's going to move them. Get closer. I can see over the thing now.
Wide open.
Yeah, take your pick of targets now.
Ooh, is he going for the
He's going for red.
red?
He means to shoot red.
Yeah, is red open?
I would say probably. From the top of it, I can see 3 bases with no problem. I don't know, there's so many damn tokens. I'd be tempted to finish off activations, but kill the commander, which eliminates the ability to do some crazy shenanigans. You lose the ability to shoot 5s, which is fine. I think you go after the commander and red. They need a judge. They're going to have to ask somebody else. We are not judges.
Alright, so we have a judge in chat, or someone wants to hop in here?
They can go on Discord and ask. Tim just wants to wound every unit. Yeah, it kind of does seem that way. Alright, while we wait for, you know what I haven't done yet that I probably should do since I've been yelling at people to potentially do it? As soon as I can
Bees
find
is
it.
in chat, if you want to get him in here or line it up for him.
So he's asking if they're cover or not from the ATSTBs. I'm assuming that is about the aim point. Ah, shit, I don't know what the aim point is for the ATST anymore. I think this is about it. Basically, if red is cover or not.
Middle. It's supposed to be the middle, which is then blocked by the rest of the...
Yeah, which is blocked by the rest of the model.
Yeah.
Orc has it? Okay.
Thanks.
So I'll let them hash it out. Is he in there? Yeah, he's in their chat with them. Okay. So while they hash it out, we can read a couple sponsors. Do you have them up?
Go for it. I can in just a moment.
All right. I'll read one off. You pull it up. You can pull another. We'll just keep reading through them. So what we do here is we actually have sponsors for Invader League, and they actually have put forward some ad reads. So we're going to take some turns reading through them. They're completely optional, but we want to definitely try and hit up as many as we can. So I'll go ahead with War Corgi over here. Check out our friends at War Corgi YouTube channel. They feature videos just like Invader League, but use real models and questionable tactics. Also, they have 2 adorable corgis, and who doesn't love corgis?
We are also hosted by the Legion Tournament Circuit. The Legion Tournament Circuit is responsible for Invader League administration. Their goal is to create a standardized approach to creating Star Wars Legion tournaments to ensure a professional standard of organized play events.
Additionally, we're brought to you by Legion 99. The Legion 99 podcast is your source for the latest tactics, news, battle reports, hobby talk, and general Legion chatter. Join Mike and Nick every other week as they discuss competitive play with Josh and hobby skills with Rob. We can be found on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
As we wait for the judge ruling, I believe Tim is pulling up some dice and taking aim at potentially red. I'm not sure exactly what the judge call was.
I asked for it, so hopefully they say something. They're
Ruling.
saying light.
Yep.
Must be because it's somewhat clipping through the grates.
Yeah.
Cool.
That seems-
Well, that works. All right, so firing off these shots here, rolls a crit, 4 hits, and a surge, so it's going to be 5. So it's going to be 5 hits, 1 crit, down to 5 total wounds coming through. Going to dodge a bunch of these away, so it's going to mitigate quite a bit there. That looks like 2, so it's down to 3. Yeah, it looks like 3 saves. Oof! Gonna need to burn a surge there and take 2. That was a great roll. That's what great result for Tim here. Not a great result for Basscor. Still though on the board, able to mitigate with all those tokens he had. That kind of worked out great. And now Tim is effectively out of units to activate. Basscor, I believe, has both Z6s left, so he can do some potential big damage to Veers over here.
Yeah. I feel like even on that great roll, just 2 minis for an entire ATST swing at this point is not
There's no way he can carry it.
Anymore.
With what, 2 turns left? Yeah, 2 turns left.
2 turns
He would need to perfect roll split fires twice.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen.
Then you think, could he have pulled off that clone commander activation instead?
I think that would have been the way to go.
He already has 2 wounds on him, and that would have. While he's figuring out what to do, I can read another ad.
Sure thing.
The Invader League is also brought to you by STABcast, and we have several members in chat, and Tim also is a player that is part of STABcast. It is the Sunsphere Tactical Attack Brigade's Star Wars Legion podcast featuring battle reports, news, and segments on all walks of Legion life, with the added salt and fire as needed. Find them on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and social media at STABcast.
Great guys. They're fun. Alright, so it looks like Bees is pulling, or not Bees, Basscor pulling out a Trooper token here. Of course, that's all he has left. Gonna be the purple phase 2s. They're going to likely open up at Veers. They might need to reposition a touch to get open shots at him. I don't know how they ruled it last time. Looks like they're going to stay in position and take the aim. I guess they call that light cover because it's only going through the support structure.
Yeah, it's just nicking the support structure.
And I mean, I'll take light cover with this, with the Z6, with 2 aims. Rolls a
Not
crit.
as good of a showing,
and a hit.
but still got some surges. And here comes the reroll fountain.
Oof, I saw it for a second being a lot scarier than what that was. Alright, still really good. Another aim here.
Ooh, wasted aim. Another one coming up. Burning through all his aims, he has to kill Veers. Well, maybe not has to.
It's giving
really,
him the best.
really wants to.
Yeah, it's giving him the best option to do it. Ooh, well, I mean, that's one way to kill Veers.
Actually,
He has to burn that surge token.
Well,
and
he
then
only
he's
has 5 health. That's 4 wounds on a 5 health mini.
Oh yeah, I forget he has 5 health, so no matter what, he is dead.
Loses only 5.
That, I think,
That's
there's no coming back from this.
RNG. Brutal RNG.
Alright, so we're going to see this Stormtrooper commander do his thing by just running. But he's opening himself up to just getting sniped by the arcs this next turn.
Yeah. I think the arcs might have already gone.
Yeah, that's what I said, next turn.
So, if he goes early, gets the objective, that would be quite the move.
He won't be able to because the jungle's difficult.
Jungle's difficult.
He'd
So
need
now-
another turn to get through the jungle. I think you just have this Z6 squad move forward and start shooting at the snows. But then the snows can just start playing peekaboo, so... Yeah, go back, eliminate that Stormtrooper commander. I mean, then the writing's, like, on the wall that the game is done.
Yeah. He could just play it out and tie.
Well, you could play it out and tie, sure. You could also just call it in place, too, which is what I'd prefer to do if it was me, but... Trying to get the position to keep the ATST from getting some shots off. Yeah, we know what he's trying to do. He's trying to wedge him under there. There's plenty of room in reality. Alright, taking the Z6 shot against the lone Stormtrooper over here. Can he eliminate it? And also Tim's hopes and prayers? Well, does get 3 hits and 2 surges there. He has enough surges. So 5 hits on a singular Stormtrooper. 1 is being removed from cover, so that's 4. In theory, he should only make 2, so the Stormtrooper is going to have to pull out some pretty good moves. Oh, he eats it.
He eats it. Goodbye. Honest attempt. I think Base is just playing it to win the game, but as far as victory point advantage, at this point, you're right. I think it's out of reach. He's going to end up tying.
Yeah, victory point wise, it's going to be a tie. There's no way either of them can get to it. They can basically call it in place now if they wanted to, and just say, hey, we're not going to advance past this position anymore. They could continue on. So Tim has what's effectively 88 points of stuff left on the board, plus the ATST, which is another 2 and change. I don't know how much an ATST is anymore. They've changed it again.
155? 135? No, I think it's 155.
Plus upgrades.
Normally 195. Yeah, I think 155 sounds about right.
So I guess the question is, what do you do at this point?
And then dewbacks are 70 base now. Yeah, I think... I don't know what to do. I think Tim just powers on and takes off units, and who knows?
I mean, you do what you can with the ATST.
It's kind of just a stalemate in terms of what do you do with your actions, because the result's not really going to change a whole lot.
So it's we're not programmed, and I missed what Tim drew. Ambush. Oh, give the ATST a thing, I suppose. Alright, well, they're dishing out their order tokens here. That's a lot of clone activations on the board. I'm going to see the ATST get his order token. He's going to have to go basically first. I guess you just shoot at the clone commander, trying to eliminate him. And I don't know what else you do at that point. Seems like a lot of firepower going to one guy with 2 hit points. Can always go and attempt to kill the ATST if you want glory points. Alright, snows are going to do snow things. I guess they're trying to get better cover. Not exactly sure what Tim's trying to do here.
He's maybe picking off. No.
So if he's trying to do this, he should shoot, then move behind cover. I'm not exactly sure what Tim's trying to do with this one. I do think picking off 5s is probably the best thing that these snows can do.
Yeah.
So is he saying that he's shooting on the move and then that's just going to be their end position? Is does he know that snows can move and fire? There we go.
Lining up, then this is action 1. Hey!
Got a crit.
Crit. Hey, Seth.
Oh, and he got him. He actually got him.
He got him.
Hey, Seth, how's it going?
And he had plenty of surges, so 33%. Seth, yeah, the game is not looking good for Tim, but small victories feel great right now. Just cleared 5s.
That is a good victory. I would be happy with that. So I guess the next question is, do you walk the ATST down to get shots into the actual clone grouping now? I think you do.
I think they're still kind of blocked. That's going to be a speed 1 move. You could probably
Yeah, but
start
speed
tagging
one,
red some more.
you end up touching the platform in the crates. No longer counts as cover,
Oh, that is correct.
and then all that stuff
Yeah, I
is in
think
the
move
open.
shoot is great.
I think that Tim still is in the fight as much as I don't believe it. Because that
Makes some crazy
ATST,
rolls.
this ATST can do a thing if he takes out those arcs and the clone trooper commander. That in and of itself is a bucket of points. And then just focus everything down into the red team next turn. And then all that's left is Rex and Phase 2s. That probably might not be enough to count as much as the ATST is. Oh man, is he trying to bait the ATST by putting Rex up here? He might be trying to
get
bait him.
just on the other side, so I think even after pivot, the Rex will be hard to get
Well,
out of
again,
cover.
won't matter if the ATST speed 1 moves and touches the platform.
Yeah. I think he's just got to stay out of sight. I don't know. His whole army's going to be exposed to ATST after a move, it looks like.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
the
much
ATST
all of it.
moves and suddenly everything no longer has any cover, any line of sight blocking.
Move aim from Rex. Activations just piling up.
Takes the scanner for the dodge. Or whatever it is that he's using to get the dodge. Snows can activate. They can peekaboo and start shooting at Rex to try and remove some of those tokens. By peekaboo, I mean they move fire and then move back out of line of sight so they can't be hit. So that effectively every turn you just roll dice, you don't even bother moving them. Tim has some options here.
We have a dedicated crowd in chat rooting for Tim.
There is I mean, I hate to play favorites here because Basscor is definitely doing a fantastic job. But you got to give a man credit when he's being the underdog from like turn 0 on. And somehow still in the game. Looking to shoot, I guess, at purple instead of Rex. Gets a crit. That's what he's looking for. Saves it, but still, that's... You got a crit out of it.
And most importantly, these snows aren't going to get shot at.
Yep, because now they can forever just throw dice, but you don't actually have to move them.
So it looks like this game will tie on victory points for sure. And
I don't
now we're
think
just
Tim
back
realizes
to
it, but he actually has his snowtroopers exposed.
just taunting. Which is kind of silly because they're speed 1 anyway, so you could hide in that last crater a little bit if you needed extra room.
Yeah, he could have completely edged up against the inner side of the supply crate not to be seen. I don't know what he was doing there. Wrong Empire there, Cody. He ain't bringing honor to Klingon Empire, that's for sure. Maybe that's what I need as a new Twitch sub emote is Gowron. Gowron eyes.
No, man.
That's a deep cut for TNG nerds.
That's the only one I watched, and I still, it's been a long time though.
What? Oh my god, you need to watch Deep Space Nine. Hell,
Just
all of
waiting
them are good.
Clones to shoot something.
Yeah, Tim put himself in a bad position here where the clones easily have shots where he could have kept on the other side of this large crate and they wouldn't have been fired upon. However, this is exposing a group to the ATSD. I think he's trying to bait the ATSD into firing at not nearly as good targets, while also trying to take advantage of potentially dealing more damage to some snowtroopers.
Yeah, he does have a dodge built up, so a 4-man squad could probably resist an ATST shot, even because the suppression token would keep him light cover.
Yeah, and then he has surge tokens all over the place. And he can line his troops up to be able to have access to almost everyone's tokens back here.
Yeah.
I think it was bad placement on these snowtroopers. I really do. That said, this ATST, depending on what the ATST does, can become a wrecking ball for the next 2 turns. And
Yep.
it can swing the game.
It needs to wipe an activation with both of its activations. I wonder how many of the points Tim has been counting.
So this is going to be a heavy fire or heavy cover shot. Alright, you got to take off. Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm going to take off. Have a good night. Good luck, both players. And thanks again, Chris.
No problem. I'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time.
Alright, so it's just me now. Closing this out, 11:30. Hoping that the last turns go quick. So yeah, moving out here, gonna take a heavy cover shot into the snows. Z6 is still a Z6, so it can still do great things. Rolls 2 crits, and can up convert? No, he does not. Well, I don't know if he has the range or not to change those surges. Ends up getting, woof, 3 crits, which is fantastic, plus quite a few surges there. Alright, so with that, you're at least going to see 2. I think one of those was a mistake crit. It probably wasn't paint-wise correct. Alright, so it looks like... I have no idea what they're re-rolling at this point. 2 crits are going through. 4 surges. I don't know if he has access to the surges. It looks like he's saying he does. So it's going to be 6 saves. Makes 2. Doesn't have the... Oh yeah, so that's the whole squad eliminated. Yikes. Whole squad was eliminated there. Because he just didn't have access to any surge tokens himself. And he did expose that squad. I think he should have lined them up on the backside here of this crate. I think that would have made all the difference in the world right there. He definitely should have lined them up right there. That would have been a good call. ATSD is going to go ahead and activate. I think you move it down. You touch the platform here. I still think you split fire between the ARCs and the Clone Commander. That might be too risky. I think you might want to do full bore at the ARCs. But the Clone Commander is easy to eliminate at the moment. ARCs are relatively easy. Red is not also a bad option. So he's going to take an aim and fire instead. Really? Okay. I see what he's doing. I don't agree with it, though. Because he can eliminate the cover, which is better than that aim. If he moves forward and touch... he might not have the room to do it. Might be part of the problem, depending on the base size. Only gets 4 hits here. Gets 5 hits. Depending on how they call that cover, that could be 3 saves, could be 2. Does have that dodge. I think by him not moving up and touching... Yeah, we're not programmed from Rex is probably where it's at. Yikes. Only taking out 1 from that squad. Honestly, the ATST should have moved up and touched the base of this thing. Shot the Clone Commander and shot the Arcs. You're right, Cody. That was the right call. Yeah, there's the Phase 2s here as well. He probably could have also shot them and tried to eliminate them, but I think he still would have been better served, instead of that aim, to move up and touch the cover and remove the cover. Yeah, he is very far behind at this point. I don't know if it's possible for him to recover that many points in the time that's left. Because even if the ATST... It has 1 turn left. Yeah, he also could have shot purple. Because purple wouldn't have access to that dodge. They'd only have the suppression. I think purple would have been the smarter choice here, if he was to stand and fire, provided that they were within the arc. I don't know if they were within the arc or not. I think shooting at purple might have been the better choice if they were within this arc. They are not within the arc. I think that they are just outside of the arc, so he couldn't have shot purple. So he definitely would have had to move. He would have either had to pivot and shoot him without an aim, or move down and touch the platform and shot without an aim. Looks like a Z6 shot is ringing out at... I guess the ATST here. And then he's moving them so that the ATST can't see him. Oh, the ATST can still see him. The ATST really needed to move to get in contact with this thing. He needed to shoot and eliminate the Clone Commander, because the Clone Commander is now completely hidden. He will have to move. Oh, so many opportunities here. Alright, so arcs. So they're going to aim and fire at the ATST. Man, he's just giving the ATST some options. Alright. So it looks like we're getting Attack of the Clones versus Pin Down. Pin Down is going to be somewhat useful here, because he could eliminate, or he could put those back in. Attack of the Clones does nothing here other than gives orders. Alright, so we're going to see the two clone commanders here, and then the arcs. ATST's going to not really be able to do anything here. Technically, the snowtroopers wouldn't get this token. Technically. I don't know what Tim's doing, but hey, they're playing it out this way. We'll let them play it out. Alright, so last turn. Can the ATST do any? It's not going to be able to do enough, sadly. But he's going to at least try. Alright, so he can go after the arcs. That's all. Well, he can also go after Red Squad here. In all honesty, he's like a turn and a half behind what he needed to be behind. Okay, he's going to go after red and split fire into blue. He's still a turn behind what he needed to be doing. So no matter what he does here, I don't think it's going to help. 4 hits. Ooh, into the 5th. Down to 3. There are surge tokens, so it's not going to eliminate the squad. He needed one more miss. That squad still stays alive. And then shooting at the arcs gets 2 hits. They are, I'm assuming, in light cover? And he gets a surge roll, which he's able to easily take care of. And then that's basically game. There's nothing left to to activate or do, really. So yeah, I think they're just going to call it here. When they do the points, it will be Basscor in the lead, taking it home with the victory here. Sadly, victory points though. Sadly though, nothing that Tim could have done there in that last turn. I think he needed to probably move a little bit sooner and have a little more luck go his way, but dice are dice, you can't exactly worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and call it so I can go to bed. I appreciate everyone coming out. Thank you all for coming out. Much appreciated. You all have yourselves a nice night. Check the streaming channel for more games coming up. Of course, if you want one, go ahead and request in that Looking for Streamer channel, and I will do my best to try and get you on there. Otherwise, you all have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.